Alright, so I hope the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Good. Okay, so we have done with some of the basics from statistics. What is statistics? What do you mean by data? What are the different classification of data we have? So now let us move towards one more basic topic, which is again we are familiar with, but we need to revise it in order to understand the coming topics from the syllabus. That is measure of central values. Now, measure of central values. Has anyone heard about this topic earlier? पहले पढ़ा है किसी ने? Especially the people who are from BCom or BBA background, they might have heard about this particular topic. Measures of central values. Anyone? No?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so no issues. Let us start discussing it. So, what do we mean by averages? So, again, as we have done in the previous presentation, also that we have discussed one or two the theoretical, the technical definitions given by some of the statisticians. So, in the same manner, over here we will be discussing. Okay, so according to Bowley and Croxton-Cowden, two definitions we are going to discuss. One is averages are statistical constants which enable us to comprehend in a single effort the significance of the whole. The simple thing is that suppose I have 2, 9, 11, 3, 2. Let's suppose 2, 9, 11, 3, 2. What is the total? The sum of this
27.
27, sir.
27, right? So if we take the average of this, what will it be? 27 divided by,
13.5.
sorry,
5.4.
yeah,
Sorry, sir. Divided by 5.
5.4,
4
right?
point
The average of this. So this 5.4 is telling
4.
me something about this particular data. It is a single value which is actually showing me that some values are greater than 5.4 and some values are less than 5.4. This is what I can understand from this. If I take the average as 5.4 of this example 2, 9, 11, 3, 2, this single value of 5.4 is actually telling me that whatever the observations are जो भी data मैंने लिया है whatever those uh, some of the values are less than 5.4 and some of the values are greater than 5.4. This is what I'm getting. If you are giving me the average 5.4, I can comprehend it, I can interpret it like this. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So this definition
Yes,
actually
sir.
tries to tell you this, that an average are statistical constants which enable us to comprehend in a single effort the significance of the entire data series, entire observations, complete number of observations. We have a kind of an idea that what it is all about. So the average, some of the values are less than the average and some of the values are greater than the average. Then according to Croxton and Cordin, An average value is a single value within the range of the data that is used to represent all the values in the series. Means it is a single value within a particular range of data that is used to represent all the values in the series. This 5.4 is actually a representative. It is the representative of the entire this data series. This 2, 9, 11, 3. This is the representative of this. Means this single value is actually representing the entire data series. Since an average is somewhere within the range of the data, it is also called measure of central values. Right. So these are some of the theoretical definition which we should have one or two definition, whatever topic we are going to study or we will be studying in statistics or operation research. We should be aware about at least one technical definition of that particular topic. That is the minimum requirement we should have. Now, this is the main part. Averages. Arithmetic mean, median, mode, geometric mean, harmonic mean. I hope all of you have heard about this. Maybe in your school time or maybe in your graduation time, UG time. Somewhere or other, you might have heard about all these topics, these particular concepts. Arithmetic mean, median, mode, geometric mean, harmonic mean. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have
Yes,
heard
sir.
about it, right? So these things are collectively called as measure of central values, measure of central tendencies, or the commonly averages. One very common average we are all aware about this. This is pretty common and widely used statistical technique, but a very simple one. Just take the sum divided by number of observations. We take this. We are aware about this. We are aware about this. Sometimes, if we go into the detail, we come to know about this geometric mean and harmonic mean also. But these three are quite popular and quite widely used measure of central values. Am I right? The mean, median, and mode. We are quite familiar with these.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we will be understanding these in detail, but first we need to understand that how a data can be given to calculate the averages. When we will be calculating the measures of central values, how a particular just give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, so the data can be calculated, but how a particular data can be given to you, how the different averages can be given to you. During our school time, during our UG time, we used to get the question in the statistics in any one of these three methods: individual observations, discrete series, or continuous series. Or I have given you some of the examples. Like in case of individual series, the question used to look like this, where you used to get a single data series. In case of discrete series, you used to get a particular table or a data like this, where we used to take it as X and we used to take it as F. And in case of continuous series, we used to take it as this is the class and this is the frequency. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We have used any of these three types of questions. Maybe the question is based on continuous series, where the class data divided into the distributed in terms of the class intervals is given. Maybe the data can be given in terms of frequency distribution. The discrete data is given where the values are given in terms of, and I mean every x value along with its respective frequency used to be given. And if the question is too small, we used to get only a single data series, data with I mean 8, 9 observations, and we used to calculate the mean, median, mode for that particular data. So what I am trying to explain you from this slide, that a particular question can be given to you in any of these three forms. This is the simple understanding as a student, or as a student of statistics you can understand that the data can be represented in any of these three manners. It can, if the data is too small, you can use it as an individual observation where you don't need any frequency. Suppose you have done a survey of only 8 or 10 people, you don't need to prepare a particular frequency table. But if you have done a survey of 100 or 200 people, you should prepare a frequency table which is called as discrete series. And if the data is like it can vary within a particular range, you can have a continuous series. So these are the three different particular kind of question which can come in front of you. Am I making sense? I mean, am I clear, or do I need to repeat?
Sir, can you please repeat it?
Yeah. What I was saying, that the question or the data can be given to you in these three forms, in any of these three forms. If the data is too small, data बहुत छोटा है, it can be the individual observations. If the data is given in terms of the frequency distribution, then it can be a discrete data. Or if data is varying within a particular range, एक particular range में vary कर रहा है, like in this example, weight 60 to 70 kg, 70 to 80 kg. So if the data is varying in terms of under a particular respective range, so continuous series can be given. In a summarized manner, you can take it in your mind that a question can be asked in any of these three forms. It can be individual observation, it can be discrete series, or it can be continuous series. So whatever formula we are going to understand in coming slides, we will be understanding them, that if we need to calculate mean in case of individual observation, what will be the formula? If we need to calculate mean in case of discrete series, what will be the formula? If we need to calculate mean in case of continuous series, what will be the formula? So in a simple manner, if we talk about this, we'll be finding the three ways for calculating mean for different type of data series. In the same manner, if we talk about median, how to calculate it for individual series, how to calculate it for discrete series, and how to calculate it for continuous series. And same is the case with mode, that how to calculate if the data is individual observation, if it is discrete series, and if it is continuous series. So we'll be understanding all these three categories under the calculation of mean, median, and mode. Am I clear, Tanya?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else has any problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, sir, nothing yet.
Good. Just a minute. So let us start with the arithmetic mean. We have already discussed this in our very first class of the subject. So in a very summarized manner, if it is individual observation, there is a formula given to you. If it is discrete series, there is a formula given to you, and if it is continuous series, there is a formula given. Now, these individual observations, these discrete series and continuous series, we have these formula. But if you go into the description of these formula, you will understand that the core concept is same. The core concept in the sense, sum divided by number of observations. This is the only idea behind all these three formulas. Sum of observations divided by number of observations. This is the only idea behind this. Why? Let us understand. First of all, let us understand this particular symbol. We used to call it sigma, and we used to call it summation. This represents that whatever is written onto the right side of this, we are taking sum of that. So x arithmetic mean we generally represent it as x bar. So in case of individual series, it is saying that x bar is equal to summation x upon n. We read it like summation of x upon n, means sum of observation divided by number of observation. In case of discrete series in the sense when you have a data of x along with the respective frequency which is represented by f. So if you have a discrete series, then the formula will be summation of f into x divided by summation of f, and in case of continuous series it remains the same, summation of fx upon summation of f. Now this is enough about formula, but how to apply this? So let's practice. What kind of a data it is? Discrete, continuous or individual?
So individual.
Individual, sir.
Individual. So in case of individual series, the formula is x bar is equal to summation x upon n. So we'll take summation x. Summation x is nothing but 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 25 plus 36 plus 40 plus 50. I am just telling you in detail, but you can take the sum directly and write it over here, no issues. So number of observation.
So
What is the number of
211.
observation?
7.
7. So 7 is the number of observation. So it will be this is summation x and this is n. So we divide it, we'll get x bar. So x bar is equal to the total of this is what?
211.
Sir, 211.
211
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
divided
seven.
by 7.
Yes,
So
sir.
you divide it by 7, you'll
30.
get some 30 point something.
30.14, sir.
30.14 or something. Right? This is the average of this particular observation. So when we see the formula, we can have a like for what is this summation and all. This is basic thing which we have studied since I think 8th standard or 9th standard. I have not done anything big. I have not done anything technical. This is a very simple formula which we have used since the beginning of our education or study to the higher classes. So summation x upon n. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then we have this second. What kind of an data it is?
Discrete.
Yes, sir.
Discrete.
This is discrete data, right? So in case of discrete data, we have a formula x bar is equal to summation fx upon summation f. Now first we will find out the answer, then I'll tell you that this is the same formula like summation x upon n. So we have this, the observations are x and number of times they are occurring is represented by f, which is frequency. So we need summation of fx, right? So we will multiply this x with f, multiply each value of x with f and write it over here like this is, it is 650, it is 1050, it will be what, 1500, it will be 1200 and it will be 475. Just cross check. Have I written all the multiplication right or not?
Sir, your screen is not visible.
The screen is not visible. Is it the same case with everyone?
No, sir.
No,
No, sir.
You are able to see it?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. It's
So who is having problem?
visual.
Who is facing problem related to
Yes,
screen?
sir.
sir, me.
Nibonita, please check it at your end. You can, I mean, you just exit the meeting and rejoin. It might,
Okay, sir.
resolve. You just
Okay, sir.
exit and rejoin the class immediately.
Okay, sir.
So yes, the multiplications are right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we need sum of this fx.
Yes.
Sir, 4875.
Four,
4875.
4875.
487.
4875.
So the summation of fx is coming out to be 487. I am not cross checking. I am believing you guys that you have done it right. So 4875.
Yes.
Okay. And then we need summation of f. So total of f
Sir, 60.
So 65.
65.
65.
65, sir.
65.
65.
So
60.
x bar is equal to 4875 divided by 65. You solve it and
75.
you get it.
75.
Sir, 75.
75, sir.
75, sir.
Exactly 75.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Exactly
Yes, sir.
75.
So x bar is coming out to be 75. So we have applied the formula. Now, okay, we have done the formula and we have done a practice and we have got a formula, but let us understand is there any difference between this and this? See, by multiplying f with x, we have taken this 65 and we have multiplied this with 10. What is this 10? What is the meaning of this 10 over here in this table?
So the number of students who have got 65 marks.
Very good. This 10 is representing the number of students who have got 65 marks. Similarly, this 15 is representing the number of students who have got 70 marks. This 20 is representing the number of students who have got 75 marks. And this 15 is representing the number of students who have got 80 marks. And similarly, this 5 is the number of students who have got 95 marks. So, by multiplying this 65 by 10, I am getting it as 650. Or if I go with this particular thing, this 65 can be written 10 times
Yes, sir.
Yes,
like
sir.
this, and then I'll add them. So if I add them, these 10 65, or I can multiply this 65 by 10, answer remain the same.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I do 2 plus 2 plus 2, or I do 2 into 3, is there any difference?
No, sir.
No. So logically, this fx is nothing but this sigma x only. But if I go with this sigma x, I'll have to do this, cumbersome calculation. It will not look very, very nice when I write it. Like I need to write this 70 15 times in my copy. I have to do it like this. And then I'll add them. So I'll take 650 from there. I'll take what was this 1050 from there, and then I'll add. So logically, what I'm trying to tell you that sigma fx is actually the representation of sigma x only. This is nothing new. If we add 65 10 times, or we can multiply 65 by 10, the answer remains the same. But multiplying 65 with 10 is quite comfortable thing which we can do, and adding 65 10 times is a waste of time. So in order to,
Yes, sir.
when the data size, the size of the number of observation, the size of the data series is quite high, we are using this formula, but this is nothing but it is same. Similarly, the number of observation. In place of number of observation, in case of discrete series, we have taken it as sigma f. Now this sigma f, if we take the total of this column, this total of what was that 65 is showing what? This 65 is what?
So it's the total number of students who are present, like they are appearing for
Exactly.
the exam.
Total number of students means total number of observations.
Yes, sir.
So it is sigma f is actually the same as n, but since we have used it as f, so we are writing it as sigma f. So what I'm trying to tell you from this discussion that since the beginning of our school time we used to kind of mug it up in the mind और mind में बिल्कुल हम picture बिठाते रहते हैं रटते रहते हैं that in case of discrete series we'll be having this formula and we'll use it. Actually the formula is same, only the representation of the data, because of the different representation of the data, because of the higher size of the data, the big size of the data, the formula changes to an extent. Am I right? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is what it is. Now I think there is one more example for continuous, so we will take one example for continuous series also. Just a second, let me. Okay. So if we take the example of continuous series, let's suppose we have a question like class and frequency. So 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to, sorry, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35. Let's suppose 10, 15, 15, 20, 20, 25, 20 to 30, 30, 35. And the frequency like 10, 15, 20, 15, 5. Let's suppose. And we need to find out the mean. And in case of this is what kind of a data it is? Discrete, continuous or individual?
Continuous.
Continuous. So
Continuous.
in case of continuous, we have written it as same summation fx upon summation f. So where is x? So for this x,
So 2 point.
we calculate the mid value.
Yes, sir.
So 10 plus 15
By 2.
divided by 2, 12.5.
Yes, sir.
15 plus 20 divided by 2, 17.5. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Then next one will be 22.5. Then next one will be 27.5. Then next one will be 32.5. Am I right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this x, this mid value will become my x value. So now I have x and f. So quickly all of you find the value of x bar and put your answer into the chat box. Quickly, I want answer from each and everyone. Find out the mean quickly. Nibonita, if the screen is visible now?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, okay, good. So solve it and post your answers into the chat box. So I think I'm getting answers into the chat box. Oh, many of people have answered it. Abhishek Sharma 21.73, 17.30, 71.73. Okay, so Aratrika has reposted the answer. Initially, she might have done some mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 people have answered, but I think there are almost 11 people. So we are waiting for response from remaining 4. So all are the remaining 4 people. They can respond.
Sorry for the interruption, sir. I was disconnected from
Okay, no
some
issues. Abhijit, I have just given this
other sir.
question. I have just given this question of the continuous series and asked you to calculate the mean.
Okay, sir. I'll be giving you the answer.
Yeah. So one more answer is there. So Abhijit will give. So now still 2 people need to answer. So meanwhile others are doing. Any issue in calculating this arithmetic mean in any of the data series? If anyone has any issue, please ask.
So 21.73.
21.7.
I have the same answer.
So we have got almost answer from almost everyone. Only one person has not answered, except everyone has answered. So that's very good. So this is what we have the concept of mean. Then we have this thing called as median. So median, we have already discussed that median is the middle value. Do you remember in the very first class we have discussed this? That what do you mean by median?
Yes, sir.
Right? 50% of the data
Yes,
to
sir.
the left
Yes,
side
sir.
and 50% of the data to the right side. It divides your data into 1:1, you can say 50% of the data to the left side and 50% of the data to the right side. This is what it happens. Median divides your data into the 2 equal parts. So 50% remains at the left side and 50% of the data remains at the right side. Now, how to find the median? Individual observations, discrete series and continuous series, the same thing which we have done in case of mean. So we will be going on to the individual observations. Now, since we have already discussed it, so I am giving you all 2 minutes to understand this slide. If you are not able to understand it, then I'll tell you. But since we have already discussed it, that is why I am leaving it on you. Just focus on the 2 examples and you will understand that in case of individual observations, how we can calculate the median.
Yes, sir. It's understood.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Right? It is understood. Very good. Let me revise it quickly. That in case of individual
Yes, sir.
observation, we arrange the data in either ascending or descending order. So we have taken this example 4, 6, 1, 2, 8. So we have this example. So as per the protocol, we will arrange it into the ascending order. Let's suppose so 1, 2, 4, 6 and 8. Then clearly we can leave 2 observations over here, 2 observations over here. So we have median as 4. We don't need to, learn any formula for this. We can do it like this only. In case of a data where we have number of observations, over here number of observations are even or odd. Number of observation is even or odd in this case, in this first example.
Even,
Sir, even.
even, sir.
In this example, this one.
So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Odd observation,
It is odd.
sir.
But in
Sir, that
case,
is odd.
yeah, in case it is even like this, 4, 6, 1, 2, 8, and 10. So we will arrange them 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So over here the number of observations are even. So if we leave 3, 3, we are left with nothing. So in this case we will leave 2 over here and 2 over here, and we take the two middle values. 4 plus 6 divided by 2, which is 5. So 5 come out to be the median of this particular example. So no issues, because we have already discussed it in the very first class. So I think this is only kind of a revision we have done. No problem.
No, sir.
No.
So
No,
the
sir.
right. So the remaining part of this particular presentation
No, sir.
we'll do in the next class, where we'll be understanding how to calculate median in case of discrete and continuous series, and then we'll be moving on to the mode and completing it by tomorrow only. Means tomorrow we'll finish this basic, and then from next week we'll be starting some more topic from this week. Right. So that's all for today. I hope you have understood it. Any issue,
Okay,
any
sir.
problem you can discuss.
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay, good. So thank you. I'll see you in the next class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank